Hi, my name is Simon. I'm an IT trainer and a software developer. And in Habeamus, my main contribution was text. So whenever you read our tweets, blog posts, or our magnificent newsletter, chances are I am to blame.
Nee.
Okay. Okay. Hi, I'm Katarina. I'm actually in a real life witch by day. By night, sometimes I fight crimes and sometimes I work in advertisement. So I was actually in charge with all the print media, so the game itself and all the visuals you see on the website. I'm like kind of this graphics slave. Whatever these two wanted, I had to realize.
Yeah, that's true. I'm Johannes, I'm a software developer, and I was in charge of ideas and I was in charge of starting the project. And then I let Simon take over and write all the texts, and Katarina take over and draw all the stuff. And I remember when we started the project, Simon.
Yeah, that was an awesome time. Actually,
it's been 4 years now.
It's 4 years, yeah. It's a long time.
And we kind of started it on a lark, right? We were just talking about games and designing games, and I think I said, Sam, do you want to design a board game with me?
Yeah, said, right. And you pretty much came along and said, I read this post on Reddit or something, and it has this awesome background story, and it even says if you ever need an idea for a board game, feel free to take it. And
that was a totally original idea.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling everyone.
It was a very, very good background story, and here we are 4 years later with an awesome game, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how came it to be?
It was in 2016. We talked about this, and then we just started throwing ideas at each other, if I remember correctly. And I think we had the core of the game really early in our hands.
Yeah.
That we wanted it to be about betrayal and about playing as mean as you could.
Yeah.
And that resonated well between the two of us. And then we made up mechanics of how you could do that in the game. And also there, I think we had this. You play all cards covered, all cards face down, really, really early.
Yeah.
But I remember the early prototypes. You remember? We had stacks of cards. I think we had 250 cards.
It's quite funny because I had to create like hundreds of cards. So I thought of what card size would be nice. Okay, let's just go with business cards. So where can I get blank business cards? And I asked around, and no one would sell blank business cards. And
why would they?
One printer said, "Yeah, just upload a white blank PDF, and then we'll print them and send them to you."
And you did that, right?
And that's what we did.
but you remember, it didn't work on the first try because the blank PDF wasn't the right size.
Yeah.
You had to upload a correctly sized blank PDF so they could print it.
2 millimeter bleeding.
Oh, yeah. Very important for this project. Very important.
And then
we had stacks of business cards, and we just wrote down stuff on them. And we tried it out, and it was an excellent game. I remember it. Your wife was there.
And
she totally mopped the floor with us. She beat us up.
I think back then we had like 400 points in the game, so 400,000 ducats, and she had 300 of them.
Something like that, and we split the rest between us.
Also,
so that was really
sounds pretty much like our first playthrough, so we hadn't planned what to do in the game, and it just won by accident, and we're super rich, and like 90% of all the money in the game.
But then
we did rebalance the game afterwards.
In the early version, we had many more rules than today, and we had
much more. It was much more about
games and
about luck.
We had a shared deck of cards, so it was more about luck, as you said.
Yeah. So if you drew the right cards, you could really play the other players, and if you drew a handful of zeros, I mean, there's really, if you're not an excellent actor, there's really not a lot you can do with it.
The first tipping point in Habeamus' development was throwing out all these fancy ideas we had and we loved.
And that was a hard
time.
That was a hard thing to do. We'd had all these great ideas, and we put all of them into the game, and it was just overloaded with mechanics and with things you could do. And we started cutting everything
Yeah.
away. And
we cut away
Yeah.
pretty much everything except for 2 or 3 things that worked out very well, like hidden playing cards.
and
But
the
then-
votes, we had the votes already in the beginning. That's also
Yeah,
a core
right.
mechanic, that you vote for each other and you can sell your vote.
But at that point, we still had handwritten
Yeah.
business cards as cards.
Tables full of handwritten business cards.
We'll probably share a photo on the Kickstarter page.
Probably not.
No? Okay.
It looked
I'm against this. It's
Okay, we'll cut that out.
Definitely. Yeah, and then we started looking around for people who could draw at least a little bit better than us. And we asked all of our friends, and we've asked a lot of people. And then someone said, "Hey, I know someone from much earlier, and you should write an email to her." And we sent an email to her,
Yeah.
and that email was a great success, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was spam mail. The subject line said, "Great business opportunity for you." I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe it's spam, maybe it's not." I read like 3 times, then I responded, and then we just
Yeah, you did respond.
I did respond.
You did respond.
I didn't want to respond at first. Never write in
You
the
talked
subject line.
yourself into that.
Yeah, and then never write on subject line business opportunity. Then we had our first Skype call. Turned out we had the same level of humor and just joking and
Yeah,
digging
that
around.
call was so great. And we, yeah.
Was there something we didn't joke about on the first Skype call? I
No,
don't know.
absolutely not. We joked about everything, and I think
Yeah, but you
the
can't-
Skype call was
can't tell the
3
jokes,
hours
yeah.
long. No, they were bad jokes. And the Skype call, I think we'd had planned half an hour or
Yeah.
3/4 of an hour, and we talked for 2.5 hours. And afterwards, we said, "You know what, guys, I'm gonna draw
Let's
the
do
stuff
it.
for you."
Let's do it.
Yeah, and then a few weeks later, that was also excellent. We had our first in-person meeting,
Oh yes.
and Simon and I were just like, "Look, we have this. We're gonna show her the cards, and that's what she's gonna do."
And we have these awesome rules. So
Yes.
the rules
Yeah.
are perfect.
And then she showed up, and you went completely professional.
Oh
on us.
yes, I went completely overboard.
She had fonts with her, font selections, and she'd already selected stuff. And
Papers,
oh,
palettes.
yes, exactly. Papers and thicknesses and inks and colors. And look, we're gonna do these things. And we were like,
No.
she's the right person to do this.
Yeah, right.
And we were right. And it has only become more excellent from then on, because all the materials that you did at that time. I think the font is still the
It's
still
the same. The
one.
font's the only
Yeah.
thing that didn't change. I
Yeah.
think the first draft I did was stained glass.
Yeah, that's true. We had that idea. But
Yes,
that didn't.
but didn't
You
look.
told us the cruel reality about our idea.
I kind of look cool, but you know you have to like withdraw or totally forget about 90% of the drafts to get the
Yeah.
great 10%.
And we'd had ideas of cutting out things, and you told us
Oh,
how much
yes.
that would cost.
Oh,
and then
yes.
we said,
Yeah.
"Oh well."
Oh
That was a good idea, and
However,
Let's do it
if you
another
want
time.
to see how this would have looked like, you can always back our premium edition, because we will build a few of these.
yeah, and they will be awesome. They will be even more awesome than the actual game.
And very unique. I mean, we
Only a
never did
handful,
this
numbered,
Yeah.
signed by all the authors,
Yeah.
and very unique. Yeah, I think the logo. You drew the logo very quickly after this
Oh,
first
yes.
meeting, and that is still the logo that we have because it was so great.
Yeah, I
And,
think there's like one
we
touch
put
up
it on
or so.
everything.
Yeah.
We put it on the box.
We
We
even
put
had
it on.
reviewer boxes with the logo on them, like laser engraved on the paper, and it's just.
We
amazing.
engraved all kinds of things with the logo, and it looks excellent everywhere. So yeah, that's where we are right now. We have we've put 4 years of work into the
Yeah.
game. We've had so many revisions of the game
Oh yes.
until all the testers said it's an excellent game.
I'm still traumatized.
So are we. But the game is finished now, and the only thing missing is production, and that's why we're here, starting our Kickstarter with the excellent rules that we produced, with the excellent artwork that Katarina produced.
And the excellent money you provided.
The excellent money I provided. It's always nice to be appreciated as a person. And the only thing left for us to say is, back us
Back
on
now.
Kickstarter! That worked well!